Hey everyone, welcome to my coronavirus preparation video. So just to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do today, I'm a mother. I have 3 children and I also have my mother who lives with me, who's 83 years old. And I have now been, since around January 26th, I have been preparing and getting things every single week to get ready for what we hope is not to come, and that is the coronavirus. The coronavirus, they say, is just the flu, but for 20% of the people who get it, it's very serious and can be critical. So I'm going to be showing some things that I got to get ready, tips. Everybody's on a different budget. People need different things for their families, so you need to look at stuff and decide what's going to be the best thing for your family and what are the most important things that you need to keep going, especially if you have to stay indoors and stay away from the shops and going out. So that's what I'm going to be putting together and showing you today. So I think I'm going to start off with the very first important thing, and that is how to prevent from actually getting the coronavirus. We don't even know at the moment how the coronavirus is spread, but we do know that it is like a flu, and we do know that you've got to really do things, washing your hands, not touching your face, and we've all seen about the mask, and I'm going to talk about the mask today. And I must tell everybody now, I am not a medical expert. I'm just an ordinary mother who's been concerned, who's researched, and has looked at things to help my own family. So I hope I can help you today. And if you've got any questions, ask them down the bottom. Like and share this video as much as you can, because it means it can help other families to do what we all need to do, and that is to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. You don't want to panic. No one wants to panic in this. You don't want to go out crazy and go clearing off shelves and buying stuff that you're not going to use. You've got to do sensible purchases, and you've got to do things that suit your family. Now, coming up first, like I said, everyone needs to look at masks. If this does become an outbreak, it's already a pandemic around the world. It means that until they get a vaccine, we might have to walk around wearing masks. On television now, you're seeing everybody wearing surgical masks. That's one of the biggest things. They have surgical masks, but I don't know if the surgical masks are actually going to stop you, preventing you from getting coronavirus. No one knows this yet. So I think with the surgical mask, one of the best advice, this would be something you would use in your family if somebody is sick and they're presenting with any symptoms. You'd want to put a mask on straight away, because obviously if you're wearing a mask, it's going to stop them coughing on you and spreading germs. That at the moment is what I'd be thinking with masks. But at the end of the day, we have a mask shortage. So if you can't find a mask, you're better to be wearing something than nothing. And that's going to be my advice. People say, don't wear masks. And I agree. I don't think we have to rush out today. It's March the 2nd. If we're at the time where we do have to, that's when you've got to look at it. Now, you can get online. This is actually an N95 face mask, and this is really comfortable. So these have to have filters inside of them. So you can't just buy the masks. You've got to have filters, and you're going to have to keep Googling and checking the new information on what they're telling us to do, because nobody's an expert at the moment, and no one knows how this virus works, and no one knows anything. So we're actually really just guessing. So you buy the filters, you put them inside, and that's what you would be wearing. Now, these are great because they do have a little respirator on the side, and you can actually breathe while you're wearing those. For me, I'm thinking I'd be preferring to wear this over anything at the moment. And this N95 is very, very high quality. And now you can get those online. You're going to have to Google them, and you're going to have to look for them. The next thing is the P2 N95 masks. Now, this is just bought at a hardware shop. So this is a P2 rating in Australia, which is the same as the N95. They're not expensive. These cost me like $8 for 2. And apparently they're supposed to work pretty well. And again, anything at the moment, if you can't get a mask, you'd be wanting to wear anything over nothing. That is my advice for you. Now, wearing the masks, you've also got to wear goggles. This is quite funny. So at the beginning, when I knew nothing and I bought the masks, I went out and bought these goggles right here, and I thought, oh wow, they're only $3, but they've got holes all on the top. So unless I'm going to tape those up, which tape could fall off. I spoke to a friend the other day. We could super glue it. I don't know. We could come to things if we have to do it, but they're not the best option because they have got holes which let air in. And the coronavirus apparently is an airborne virus. So that means you can get it through your eyes, you can get it through your mouth, through your nose. There's so many different ways of transmission, so you got to be careful. So I ended up getting these online. Now, these are ski goggles, and they're completely sealed. So these are really cool. I like to be fashionable as well. I want to still look good. So if I go out and I have to wear the mask, I could put these on and they'll still look really good. And they're like sunglasses, so I'm going to also have protection from the sun. And if I'm walking around the shops in those, look out. No one's even going to know it's me, to be honest. So I think those are quite funny. I'm excited to wear them. They look cool. I always like ski goggles. So there's all different kinds of surgical masks. You'll see them online. You'll be able to look at them, read what they do. Also look where they come from. You've also got to be careful buying online that they don't take your money and not send them. So there's so many things going on at the moment because people are taking advantage of this situation. Because it's a pandemic. And because it's a pandemic, it means people are needing masks all across the world. So my big, highest suggestion to you today is to go out and get something like this because you could possibly need it. Yes, you could be wasting your money. If you get it from a local hardware shop, you could actually keep the receipt and return it. And that's what I've done with my expensive ones. Now, these are just P2s. These come in boxes. A lot of people will know these ones because painters use them, tradesmen. And these are just P2 masks. They don't have respirators on them. So they're obviously going to be a little bit hard on breathing. But again, if you need them and it's an emergency, you're going to have to deal with it. We might have to deal with a lot of stuff that's uncomfortable, but those are just another option. And they're not expensive. Those cost me $39 for a pack of 10. So they're a really good option to have because, again, like I said, you've got to change filters and things so you could run out. Now, going on to going out, you need to get yourself some very good duct tape. My husband is a techie guy and he films and he's a photographer and all that kind of thing. So we've always got gaff tape. This is a really amazing thing. You can stick anything with it. And I'm going to talk about all the uses with this. But if you go out, you've got your goggles on, you've got your mask on, you have to wear gloves and you're going to have to tape things. When you put your gloves on, you've actually got to tape around everything up so no air can get in. You got to do it on your shoes, your arms, everything. So you're going to need some kind of tape. Gaff tape is the best and it's not that expensive. So get that, and I'll talk about that later in other videos. The next thing I want to come to with stuff that we have shortages of, well, we have it here in Australia. I don't know about other places in the world, but here in Australia, we have got a shortage of hand sanitizer. Look, I've never bought hand sanitizer before my whole entire life. I've never used it. I've never needed to. This we have a shortage of. So you want to get yourself some hand sanitizer. Again, washing your hands is the most important thing. So you would wash your hands and then you would put on hand sanitizer. You should also get little bottles so when you go out, you can keep them in your purse. Because if you're out and you touch something, you can straight away wipe your hands down. And that comes to also the antibacterial wipes. I've got those as well. You can take those, you can buy the little packets, or you can buy the packets like these and put them in a little Ziploc bag and carry them with you, because if you're shopping, you can, wipe the trolley down. If you come across anything and you need to, disinfect it because you're worried, you've got them on hand. So you can put those in plastic Ziploc bags, or you can actually buy the little packets that you can carry with you. which are obviously quite amazing. And the other thing I'm finding even today, looking online, is the antibacterial soaps. We all use that. This is just a 2-hour defense one. I don't know if it's 2-hour defense, but it says it on the packet. And that's an antibacterial soap. So you want to wash your hands with soap, then use the hand sanitizer. I've read lots of things, and they say the soap is soap. So it doesn't even matter if it's antibacterial. Just get hand soap. That's going to be the most important thing. And then that's the other thing about a mask. If you even have just a normal surgical mask and you wear it, even if they say it doesn't stop you from getting coronavirus, what it does stop is it stops you from touching your mouth and putting your hand on your mouth, putting your hand on your nose because you've got the mask on. And apparently that is a very high rate of transmission, is touching like a door, touching an FPOS machine, touching anything, and then touching your mouth. That's how you can transmit it. So that's a really, really good thing to think about. Okay, so we all know antiseptics, disinfectants, all these things, they can be pretty expensive. This I found from a Facebook person online who was really amazing and told me about this. It's 70% ethanol. It apparently kills most things. So let me show you this. I got excited about this when we got it because we all know it's not easy with disinfectants. And I've had a lot of people asking questions about this. So you see them in China, you see everywhere, they're spraying the sprays. So this, basically you fill the ethanol up with this, you have a little wand, and you can spray down everything. Now, the great thing about the ethanol, the 70% ethanol, is it evaporates. So when you spray it onto something, it doesn't stay wet. This is what I've been asked a lot on my Facebook group, is about packages. And not only just packages from China or wherever coronavirus is, this is going to be packages everywhere because anyone could have coronavirus. My suggestion is to get one of these. They're from a hardware store. It's for gardening. Get yourself some 70% ethanol, and everything that comes in the mail, you just spray it down. Let it sit for a minute or so, and then you can touch it. Same as when you open items up. You want to do the exact same thing, because if they've packed it in China and they've got coronavirus, that means we don't even know how long the coronavirus stays on something. It's still unknown until it is confirmed and we have actual scientific evidence of the actual time that it stays on a surface. I highly suggest to do this. The great thing about this too is, I was talking before about quarantining someone in their room. You can go inside, spray everything, spray the floors, spray the bed, spray walls, anything you can spray with this. It doesn't ruin it. Obviously, if you have a couch, or you've got material, you've got a leather lounge, you've got blinds and things like that, you might want to do a little test area first and just make sure that it doesn't, damage it or stain it or do something that's going to mess it up. So I would suggest a test patch. But if you're doing it on surfaces like bench tops, bathrooms, that kind of thing, you're pretty safe. You can do doorways. It's endless amount of things that you can do with this, and I highly recommend ethanol 70%. Now I want to talk about this because, as you can see, it's got a dangerous sticker on here. Again, I'm a mum. I don't deal with chemicals. So I sort of let my husband deal with this side of things, but there's single mums out there and there's women on their own. So this is flammable. You don't want to spray it on any electrical items near flames. You want to keep this stored in a well-ventilated area because this can catch alight. This is just like gasoline, petrol. It can actually explode. So keep it in a very safe space and be careful when spraying it that you're not spraying it on anything that's active, flammable, stoves. You don't want it, heaters, anything that can actually light up. You want to be really, really careful with this. So again, I would suggest you Google this and Google the safety things around it before you use it. I really hope that was helpful. And you can like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'm going to be doing more videos. Thanks so much for watching.